Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Assorted Duties. I am your host, Arthur Reynolds. Today's episode is on relationships. Want to get your take on what you think things are like today in today's relationships, the type of loyalty we have in relationships. Does do people look at relationships in a long term manner? Do they look at relationships as a here and now, or do they look at it in a manner of convenience? Are they looking for someone to share their life with, to spend the rest of their life with that person? Are they looking at relationships to grow, to be together, do things together, share things together, create memories, things to look back on? And when they're looking at these relationships, is it something that's just for themselves? Is it because they're tired of being lonely? Or is it genuine? Is this what relationships are being looked at today's day? I've been in numerous relationships in my life, and as I've gotten older, I've learned a little bit in each one. There was things I've repeated as far as mistakes are concerned. It doesn't mean I didn't learn from them. It's just being truthful. I just was too much of a coward to correct the situation the second time like I was the first time. And I repeated the mistake that I made. Uh, but those are life lessons. And no one can tell you, you know, what is right and what is wrong when it comes to your tolerance. You know you better than anyone else does. I know me. I know there's things that I've done. I'm not perfect. So I don't want anyone to think that, you know, well, you talk like you got it all together. No, I don't. But I do know where I came from to where I am. I'm a hell of a lot better now. I know that much. And I am a bit arrogant about that because if you knew me, you will see it's not just me saying it. You will see the changes that I have made in my life for the better. Some of those choices you make in life when you decide to change and grow up, because those are the times when things happen, is when you start maturing in certain decisions that you were making back when you were young to now that you're a little older, uh, is a growing process. So it's part of growing up. Uh, that's what I did. And some people had to get put on the back burner. They weren't as relevant in my life anymore. So because of that, some people might look at me like, "Oh yeah, he's changed. He thinks he's too good," or and that may be with the case in other people. "Oh yeah, she's changed. She thinks she's too good." Uh, it doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that. It just means, as some people would use the term, they outgrew you. If you're still in that same place that they were back then, and they're no longer in that place many years later, then they just outgrew you. They're no longer staying in that area, and you did. It doesn't mean that they don't want to mess with you because they put you in a compartment that says, when I'm ready to deal in that kind of a life, I know who I can holler at and socialize with and be cool with because that's where they're at. But I'm over here now. It doesn't mean I just wiped you clean from my slate. It's just that I'm just not putting as much time or effort into that type of lifestyle anymore. So don't fault a person when stuff like that occurs. If people have done you wrong, you should know when enough is enough for you, and you might want to just disassociate yourself or with something like that has affected you emotionally or even maybe physically. Um, as you get older, you move on to different things, different people, different places, so that you can develop a different lifestyle. I know that I lived where I lived at for many years, and while I was living in this area, it wasn't good and it wasn't bad. I just learned some things about people in that area, family members particularly. I lived in this area, and living in that area for as long as I did, I do know that people would get mad because I don't come by and visit them. And that's what I did. That was what I was doing. I would go and visit people, sit, talk, chill, whatever have you, and it was all cool. It was all fine and dandy, um, mind you. But then it got to a point where as I was growing up and getting to mature and learning that, I got to start putting myself in a position for a better lifestyle. And I started doing that. So um, I'd have my own place and everything like that. And I started asking other people, those same people that I was going to visit, they're saying, well, yo, you don't even come by no more. Well, yeah, because, listen, come by, come to the house, come chill. I live right over here. And as long as that was happening, as long as I was coming to see them, that was fine. But the moment I'm asking them to come see me, those things changed. That's when they would act like they didn't have time and couldn't make effort to come see me. So I'm like, okay, cool, fine. You know what I mean? I now know that the extent of our relationship is based off of me coming into your presence. None of them had anything to do with being in my presence. So with that, I learned to become more standoffish and started separating myself from that. A lot of family members that I'm pretty much referring to, and there was friends too that I chilled with and stuff like that. Uh, the moment I'm doing something decent in my life, I'm trying to grow up and take care of what needed to be taken care of, which is me first, then my children, because if I ain't right, I can't get them right. So take care of me, get me situated so that my children could have a place to come and stay and have fun and enjoy themselves with their dad. And then once I got them situated, then I took care of all of everything that I could or had to. But I made myself grow up, and I had to grow up. Um, my relationships consist of dealing with women and family, and those are two different type of relationships, but they can still end up being the same type of outcomes. You get rid of some women, or in women's case, some men. You get rid of them because you're not growing. Or I'm a type of person, I don't want to argue all the time. I hate repeating myself time and time again. I have to keep saying the same thing over and over again, then apparently what I'm saying to you doesn't matter to you. So I think it's best we just go ahead and cut ties and go about our business. Um, Same thing with family. I had a lot of family members I asked to come and visit me, and I live in the same town you live in. You get mad because I'm not coming over to see you. But I tell you where I live, you know where I live. You don't come and see me knowing where I live. Neither do you call me. If I don't call you, you don't call me. And you get mad because I'm not calling you or I'm not coming over to see you. And that's fair to you. That's fair. Now, I don't care how anyone else sees it. Don't care. This is me because none of you are um, going to change my lifestyle. And that includes for a mother who is a healthy mother, a mother who can get around, a mother who can go to the grocery stores and who can go to the mall, who can go get their hair done, who could travel to other states to visit other people, things of this nature. If she can't come see me where I live at, I ain't saying every day, every week, every weekend, you know, um, every month. I'm not even saying that. Here and there. If you can't do that, then by all means, I'm going to reciprocate the same energy you put in to wanting to deal with me. I'm going to put in that same energy in wanting to deal with you. And this is where I'm at now in my life. So I'm sorry. That's just me. Like me, love me, hate me, don't care. Uh, but this is the way it is. That goes for my children as well. Uh, if you're not putting no energy into wanting to see me or talk to me, then I'm going to do the same thing. You're grown. You guys are they're living their lives, and I'm going to continue to live mine, So it's, you got kids. I would love to be a part of my grandkids' lives, and I will put forth effort as long as you're putting forth something. I'm not asking you to put out what I'm putting out within family relationships, within relationships in itself, as far as female companionship, because I am heterosexual. I don't know if I needed to make that known, but with today's issues in society, I guess people have a tendency to announce their sexual preference or their sexual identity or whatever it is. So I felt the need to make that very clear. And in my relationships and dealing with females, I'm meeting energy with energy. I think that relationships need to be both sides. It needs to be an equal kind of communication. You can both have your say, but then there needs to be that change within that communication, or them actions that you were doing before need to change. If you guys are having communications, you can't just talk about something and expect something not to change. It has to. It has to in order to move forward. It's not, oh, she's trying to change me or he's trying to change me. Well, you have to. You really have to change in some way in order to make the relationship work, if that's where you really want to be. But if you're going to keep talking about, hey, I'm tired of you leaving your underwears in the bathroom. I'm tired of you leaving dishes in the sink. I'm tired of you not taking the trash out. And then that's the same conversation. You take the trash out, you do the dishes, you pick your underwears up, but yet 2-3 weeks later down the road, you're back to doing the same shit again. Well, if that's the case, then you basically wasted your fucking time talking about whatever it is you were talking about. So, with that, I just think when you're communicating with each other, it can't be on dead ears. I'm a strong believer in your actions speak louder than your words. So you can tell me whatever it is you want to tell me. But if your actions don't make your words clear, then it is just, those were just words. That literally, I can tell you I love you all day long. You know what I mean? Like Lionel Richie said, all night long. But if that's the case, if I really do, then there's things I'll do to not just tell you, but I'll show you. And it could be subtle things, like cook for you without you saying, well, baby, it'd be nice if you cooked once in a while. Or iron your clothes without you saying, well, you don't never iron my clothes. You know, little things. Go take your car, fill up gas the night before the before the week starts, like Sunday night. Go fill up the tank because you know you need gas in the car. Go take your car to the gas station, fill up the tank. You know, little gestures like that are little marks that says, yeah, he does care about me. He does love me. He does show that he's showing that he loves me. He's trying. She's trying. Anything of that nature. That you're putting forth those kind of efforts. So if I have to constantly ask, well, you're going to the store. Do you think you could get me, because you went to the store already and you come back from the store and you didn't pick up nothing that I wanted? You didn't call me when you were at the store to see if there was something I wanted. So because of that, you now didn't come home with anything that I wanted. So now I have to go to the store and get it myself. So relationships are funny. They're very, they're funny. There's times when you can turn things around, and there's times where it's not salvageable. And you know the limits. You know your limits. You know when you've had enough. You know where to draw the line in the sand. I'm not here to tell you anything like that in your relationship with your significant other or with your family, because everyone has that. You got to draw a line in the sand, because if you don't, people will keep moving the line. And once we cross this line, we're done. So with that, you have plenty of people who will push the envelope and take you right up to the line, and then maybe back off a little bit and then push it right up to the line again and back off a little bit, and they want to teeter on that, and you want to keep doing that. And well, you can't do that. You can't keep playing with people like that. You know what I mean? Some relationships are based off of what you can do for me. You can have where, as long as I'm able to get this from you and you can do this for me, then we have a good relationship. But the moment you tell me no, no, you're not doing this. No, I'm not coming over. No, I'm not. I'm not going to be able to get that done. Then they have a problem. Now it's a problem. But every time you would turn around and ask them for something, they're always with 39 excuses on why something can't be done, or they can't do it, or they don't want to do it. So they have something to do. They have somewhere to go. You know what I mean? They have their own little projects they got to do. They're having problems with this here. I'm in this crisis right here. So it's always something when it's you asking for something. So when you have a relationship like that, one-sided relationship, you need to make a decision which way you want to go with that. Because if it's not a healthy relationship, whether it be family or a significant other relationship, then you need to make a decision on what's best for you, which way you want to go with it. figure out whether, that person is worth holding on to, it's worth talking about, it's worth working it out, or anything of that nature. You make that decision. No one else can make that decision for you. I know I have my relationships with my mother, my brother, my sisters, and they're all different. They're all different. Those are relationships you can't get rid of. You just don't have to deal with. You can't get rid of them because that's your family. Can't get rid of them. You just don't have to deal with them. So, the relationships when you have with a significant other, you can decide whether you want to deal with them or not deal with them. Do you want to leave or do you want to stay? It's just your call. If you guys don't live together, then you decide whether if it's worth dealing with that person, going over there to deal with that person in any manner whatsoever, in any kind of capacity. If it's just a booty call, is it worth the drama? If it's just I need someone to confide in, is it worth the drama? So you make that decision on what you think is best for you when it comes to these relationships. I do know, as I said in the very beginning of this, I would like to know how people view relationships anymore. I don't go to clubs too much. I haven't been to a club in a long time. But I'm a sociable individual. I can meet a person anywhere, airport, on the shuttle ride from the parking lot to the airport, in the grocery stores as well, in grocery stores, which I've already stated. But it could be in a corner store. We could be at someone else's house that I never met you and just start talking. Very easy for me to meet people at any place I go. I don't have too much of an issue as far as that's concerned. As I traveled many different places, I've met many of different people. I may not remember their names at the same time that they're telling me because I'm horrible with names. But yes, I am horrible at names. Anyway, in relationships today, are their goals long term, short term, overnight terms, immediate gratifications type thing? Is it what can you do for me? What do you want from me? I just want to be single. I just need a friend. What are these intentions nowadays? And I would like to know that. I would like to know where people's minds are when it comes to relationships and what they're looking for. Women say they were looking for this type of man, and men say they're looking for this type of woman. You got to be real with yourself. And if you're real with yourself and you're meeting people, you shouldn't have to put on this mask. I mean, every day is not trick or treat when you start dating. You're wearing this mask until the season is over. And when the season is over, only you can determine that, where you think you got a person where you want them. And then you want to let your hair down. And now that person has to decide, is this the person I'm dealing with? And do I want to deal with this person? Because this isn't the person I met. And this isn't the person I've been dealing with when we first met. So now I have a decision. Do I want to continue dealing with this type of person or not? So, before we go, please remember to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. For any comments, do so down in the comments section below. Thank you. This is Arthur Reynolds, your host of Assorted Duties. Until next time.